Hey, this is Michael Davis, the Storytelling MD. I'm at Memorial Hall in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio. This is the site of the 2017 TEDx Cincinnati event. Very exciting time. You can tell there's a lot of commotion behind me. This is hours before the event, and I'm filming this video right now to emphasize the importance of getting to your venue as soon as you possibly can. Now, the gentleman I'm speaking, his name is Scott Mann. He's a former Green Beret. Terrific story. He goes to each part of the venue to see what the sightlines will be for the audience. He wants to make sure that nobody is excluded from his talk.
So there's a few things that I follow as just basic principles on pre-work before you go on the stage. Whether that's you're giving a presentation to the boss, or in the boardroom, at church, or actually on a keynote stage. A couple things. One is I have a ritual that I go through every morning, whether I'm on stage or not, but for sure on the day where you want to do some meditation, some reflection, some voice work, and just get yourself ready to show up and get in that space. A lot of times no one does anything before their speech to get loosened up. So the morning of, at a minimum, meditation, deep breathing, some voice work, mo, 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 may, just stuff like that. And just because this thing's a muscle, right? And if you don't warm it up, it'll go tight on you. So that's the morning of. I also try to get in the space at least 24 hours before, because as social creatures, as mammals, we love to mark our territory. And have you ever taken the stage and got up there and you were never in that space before, so you're like doubly anxious? You can reduce a lot of anxiety and what they call stage fright by just getting in the space ahead of time, touching all the walls, all the corners, touch all the chairs, sit in that space, back row, back corner, the furthest away, and get the perspective of what it feels like to sit there, and then get on the stage or the front of the podium or wherever and get familiar with that space, touch it, and run through the whole thing if you can. I'm telling you, it will reduce your stage anxiety by 80 to 85%. And then finally, right before you go on, you're going to have stage fright. You will never get over it as long as you live, because it's just energy. You're nervous because it matters. So, couple things. 3 deep breaths, and then say to yourself slowly, I have time. Do that 3 times. You'll bring your sympathetic nervous system down, and you're physiologically ready to just walk out there, and now that energy's out here. And you can focus on making connections instead of being in your head wondering if your butt looks big, right? So those are my tips, and focus on the connections, be a vessel. Don't worry about how you look up on stage. Get yourself ready to come out and play and show up and just have a good time with it.
So your tip for this week, always get to your venue as quickly as you can. Get on the stage, get a feel for it. See where the creaks and the cracks are in the speaking area. Go to every possible seat you can, at least every section of the venue, so you can see what the audience's perspective is. Make sure that they don't have an obstructed view. Get a feel for what the sound is like from each part of the arena. Most importantly, practice your speech, as much of it as you can. Practice like you will play when the lights are on and the audience is in front of you. Take these steps, and you've taken a huge step toward creating a memorable experience that will impact your audience long after you speak. Talk to you next week.